The first video of this two-part mini-series on how to record and mix acoustic guitars and vocals was old footage filmed in my old studio in Europe. We've seen different stereo miking techniques and setups for the acoustic guitar and different mic positioning for the vocals. We pick up from there. In this video, we break down the mix of the song. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixbusTv. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, check the info box down below for my mixing courses on ProMix Academy and special discounts and offers on plugins. And there couldn't be a better video for you to check out how to become a MixbusTv member by clicking the join button down here, because for this video and the previous one, I will provide for members only the Pro Tools sessions from the first video, so the recording session, so you can compare the different stereo miking techniques on the guitar, how they sound different, the files with the different mic positions for the lead vocals, so you will have both. And of course, what we are looking at today, the Pro Tools mixing session with all the files, all the plugins, all my settings, everything, so you can try to mix the song yourself. The files and the Pro Tools sessions will be available only to members, and I will link them after this video is released on the YouTube community page to members only. So if you want to become a MixbusTv member, click the join button, see all the perks. Let's get to the video. Let's play the mix first thing.
You're my first, you're my last, my everything. You're my first, you're my last, my everything.
Okay, so first of all, before start driving, you need to know where you want to go. So before even start the processing or anything, my thought process was, where do I want to go with this mix? What kind of sound do I want? So I've seen these guys live several times, and that's the vibe they have. That's where they really shine. So this was a live recording because they were playing together, even if in different rooms, but I wanted to keep that feeling. I wanted to keep that live performance vibe, and we were in a studio. The vocals were recorded in my mixing room, which is very dead, and even the live room the guitar was pretty dead. So I went for, as you heard from the mix, a very ambient-y kind of mix. Okay, so a live club kind of vibe. This could be changed in one simple move, and you will see from the mix, and turn this into a more intimate, more smoky club, or maybe even just a small room with few friends around, just by turning down the effect return. You will see it from the mix, especially if you have the session. All the reverbs, the two reverbs that we have, I kept this very simple. They go to the effects bus output. So if I want a drier mix, the only thing I have to do is to turn down the global effect return.
My sun, my moon, my guiding star, my kind of wonderful, that's what you are. I know there's only one like you.
Okay, this is simple routing. We'll break down the mix so you will see that, but it's a very useful way, especially in simple mixes like this, to gauge how much ambient you want, especially on an acoustic piece like that. Simple, easy to set up, and you have with one fader the control over the wetness of your mix. Okay? And that's it for the acoustic guitar. Let's see the lead vocals. So again, I didn't want this to sound too processed or something, so I didn't even remove the little bleed that I had from the headphones. I just used the SSL channel for that. Let me unsolo it.
My first, my last.
Okay, you can see the expander working. So it's just attenuating the spaces, the silences between words, but it was a very quiet environment, and the little mouth noises, they are just attenuated automatically. I didn't have to automate manually this one. You can see the settings. The release needs to be all the way slow, so it doesn't pump at all, especially on vocals. It's very dangerous to do that. Better to do it manually if you have to go there. The threshold is a 0 and the range is all the way, so it takes a long time. This works also as a settings for like almost all the tracks if you want to keep the mix quiet when nothing is playing or most things are not playing. This gives you basically a safe net for the quiet parts. You can actually use just the gate to do that.
My everything.
you can see how slow the gate is to go full scale, okay? So first EQ moves with the filters, the SSL 20 and 16th, a little present around 6, 7, removing something about 3-4 dB of boominess, around 200, and a little bit of compression. Let's hear how it sounds with and without. I'm gonna bypass everything right now. So this is raw vocal.
And the answer to all my dreams.
With the SSL.
And the answer to all my dreams.
Okay, so a lot more presence, a little cleanup in the low end, but right away we needed a de-esser. It was pretty obvious. So that's the next move.
And the answer to all my dreams. You're my sun.
We can listen this pass here.
You're my sun. You're my sun.
It's very subtle because her Hesses are really soft. She knows how to sing. She knows how to work the mic, which is not moving, you know, front and back and left and right when you sing, but is actually pronouncing S's and hard consonant in a way that it's musical, okay? Very few singers can do that. She can. Next one is one of my favorite, especially for vocals, Parallel Dynamic Equalizer Nova, with and without. Let's pick a bigger piece.
All my dream, you're my sun, my moon, my guiding star.
This is a great spot to showcase what he's doing. First, is controlling this frequency around 3-4K when she goes high, and then we are controlling these, for the most part, 240, okay, and 300 in the low range, because when she goes low, she has a lot of power in that range, and when she goes high, she has a lot of power on the other range. So these two bands control everything, makes more even.
My moon, my guiding star. My moon, my guiding star.
Okay, it's pretty obvious.
My kind of wonderful.
Especially that one in the low range. Without it.
My kind of wonderful. My kind of wonderful.
So this is again subtle, but it's a big difference. And then the main compressor for a vocal, which I recorded as we've seen in the first video with a distressor, so it was already, you can see it from the track. It's pretty dynamically solid already. For this one I used the CLA3.
And the answer to all my dreams.
I love this compressor on vocals when it works. It doesn't work all the time, but you can hear even just the first pass here, with and without.
And the answer to all my dreams. And the answer to all my dreams.
Okay, so it's pretty transparent using this way, couple of dB.
You're the one that I'm living for. Your love I give forevermore. You're my first, you're my last, my everything.
I love how this compressor in general, when used this way, takes away the raw factor from a raw recording, which is a vocal in front of a mic. It's especially obvious in this pass here.
Living for your love I give forevermore. Living for your love I give forevermore.
Okay, it's more contained. Everything is like dynamically solid. After that, a little bit of high end with the 560, which I love the top end of this EQ.
And see you feel, make me feel this way. You're like a first morning dew.
And again, it might seem subtle, but when you send it to the effect, the little bit of high end makes a difference, so you will hear it. And then another de-esser after the 560 because of the added high end.
And see you feel, make me feel this way.
4 dB max of gain reduction. The Pro DS is very, very transparent. Vocals with and without all the processing.
In you, I've found so many things. A love so new, only you could bring.
A lot clearer, more contained, better. Then this is going to his own verb, so I have two different reverbs. Something that it's unusual somehow, because especially in a situation like this, you would want one reverb for both, but they were recorded in different rooms, so they sounded different to begin with. The vocals is, as you can hear, very, very dry, while the guitar has a little bit of ambience, just a tad of room in it already. So I felt they were better together with two different reverbs. Also because I wanted the guitar to be back, and I used the same reverb actually, but the V room, but still two different EQ settings, two different everything.
In you, I've found so many things.
You can see for the guitar, the pre-delay is longer, so it puts the guitar further back, and for the vocals, it's shorter. Shorter is the decay compared to the decay of the acoustic guitar, and is a large room for the guitar and a medium room for the vocals. After the reverb, the vocal reverb, there's a simple EQ cut in the low end and the high end.
In you, I've found so many things.
But as I usually do with reverbs on vocals, there is a simple stock compressor triggered again by the vocals. You can see it here, Vox sidechain, basically ducks the reverb when she sings. So I can keep the level of the reverb a little higher without the reverb washing out the vocal, but coming up at the end of words.
In you, I've found so many things.
Especially when she sings loud.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star.
You hear how the vocals does this? It's very close and intimate when she goes high, and the reverb kind of hug the vocals after it. So all together.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star.
And then we go to the two-bus. Now on the two-bus, there's a little bit of processing. I'm gonna bypass all of it.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star, my kind of wonderful. That's what you are.
Okay, I still want this a little lower, but let's start. We have an SSL with just a filter at 20. And then the C6 is an important part of it. Let me bypass everything else and just leave this one.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star.
This makes a big difference, okay? There's only, the range is 6 dB max. So it works between 3 and 5 dB of gain reduction in this range. The center frequency is about 4.5 K, which is the sum of the guitar and the vocal. And then this other band here, centered around 95 for the low note of the guitar when it meets the low note of the vocal to control it a little bit, 2 dB range.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star.
But this band here, the blue band, is what really makes things glue together for me. After that, the Mack DSP analog channel. Basically, look at this as the main saturator / dynamic control, and also has a vintage vibe to it.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star, my kind of wonderful.
I don't know, because the release is pretty slow, it kind of helps, again, gluing the guitar to the vocals. And it adds a little bit of color to it. Okay, clip.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star.
Okay, you cannot hear the difference here. It's just literally, it's so transparent, it's smooth mode, and I'm clipping 1.2 dB on just those quick transients of the guitar that it's basically impossible to hear any difference, but you actually make the mix a little denser. You can see this is my print, but it's just for that 1.2 top and as a saturator. And then the main compressor, which I added later on, to be honest.
There's no way we could have made two. You're the one that I'm leaving.
Again, for this mix, the sound, the color of the 2500, it really worked well. Which is, I mean, I'm not surprised, although the API is seen as a rock or hard rock compressor. It's really a smooth compressor, so versatile, especially in old mode. One thing, again, that I want to you to notice is independent left and right, because basically it's mostly the guitar what is triggering it with the peaks. Okay, so basically the same settings as we used before, and it just, again, adds a little bit of body.
There's no way we could have made two.
Not even 1 dB of compression we are talking about here. Then this one to add, I added later. Again, I wanted a little bit of shimmer, which you saw me retouching it, so I'm always halfway with this. As soon as you put it up, it sounds better, but the more you listen to it, the more like, kind of no, kind of without, and you start lowering it. Let's say I'm happy with how it is right now.
There's no way we could have made two.
But in the end, probably at the end of the mix, I would probably go something like this, because the more I listen to it, the more that high end doesn't really fit well with the style, so to speak. So I would be very conservative. Like I said, this I added just before doing the video. But I had this one.
There's no way we could have made two. You're the one that I'm leaving for.
And this one's just for the saturation. I really love what it does to the vocal. Listen to it.
There's no way we could have made two.
Okay, it breaks there just enough to add that little bit of distortion. Basically, that's the mix. Okay, I printed it, and I did a little bit of mastering to it, although this was pretty much finished. So just let's take a look at what I did in the mastering session. But this is it for this video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. If you have any question, leave it in the comment down below. And remember, MixbusTv members will have all 3 Pro Tools sessions with the raw files. I will link them as all the members only content in the YouTube community page. Those posts are visible only to members, of course. If you want to become one, click the join button, take a look at what it's all about. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.